It's time to take a look at the top 8 teams in this year's T20 World Cup on Hogg's Vlog. Now we're going to try and go through each team in less than a minute. We're going Group 1 first in alphabetical order. Australia, England, South Africa and the West Indies. Australia first. Their strength is their fast bowling department. They've got good genuine quicks in Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood and Richardson. Their spinners are very economical in Agar and Zampa. Swepson, who's not going to be playing in the first 11, is a genuine wicket taker, so they've got good backup there. In the batting department, Finch, Warner out the top of the order, they really rely heavily on, and Maxwell at number 4. Now where the headaches are, their weaknesses. Number 3, is it going to be Marsh or Smith? I think they'll go with Marsh because they want extra depth with the ball. Out number 5, they've got Stoinis there, who's a little inconsistent with both bat and ball. He's got to lift up that consistency rate. And number 6, who's going to finish off the innings? Is Wade the man for the job? I don't think so. I think they should go with Inglis, who's got a more range of shots and can play shots 360 around the ground. So for me, the match winners are Stark with the new ball getting up wickets in the power play, as well as with the old ball picking up wickets in the death overs. Maxwell with his run scoring capability, and Inglis to finish off the innings. Now, let's go over to England. Now, England are very dominant with the bat, especially up front in Roy and Butler. They've also got Bairstow and Livingston in the middle order that can really tear opposition attacks apart. In their bowling attack, they've got 2 good genuine death bowlers in Tymel Mills as well as Jordan. I think those 2 players have got to play. You need good death bowling. And then they've got Mark Wood with the extra pace, who could be used at different moments throughout the T20 innings, just to add a little bit of variety there and complement all the other bowlers, especially their spinners in Rashid and Moeen Ali as well. So they've got good balance in their bowling department there. Where their weaknesses are is Dawood Malan batting out number 3. Yes, if he bats through the innings, he gets a higher strike rate, but early on in his innings, he chews up too many balls, and if he bats more than 15 balls, he puts pressure on his other teammates and makes it easy for opposition teams to bowl out. Morgan's form is a big problem as well. And Willie, you haven't got a genuine medium pace all-rounder in your lineup, which is going to be a big hole to fill, and I don't think Willie can fill that void in this particular lineup. For me, the match winners for them are going to be Tymel Mills and Liam Livingston. Righty-o, we're going over to South Africa now. Now, South Africa, everyone's writing them off, but I think they can upset a few of the teams in Group 1. Now, where their strengths are is in their bowling department. Norkie with his extra pace, as well as Rabada, and Ngidi with his variations in the middle overs and the death as well can be quite a handful. They've got quality spinners in Shamsi, the left arm leggy, and 2 brilliant off spinners in Maharaj and Fortune. So they've got good balance in their bowling department. In the batters, they're going to rely heavily on De Kock at the top of the order, Markram, who's coming of age, at number 3, and Miller in that middle order. Also, they've got Van der Dusen as well as Klasan, who can do a role in that middle order, and Bavuma is going to open the batting with De Kock. Now, their weaknesses are, where do they bat Miller? They've got to give him a certain role. Too many teams over the years have played him in different roles. He's got to have that security of just one job to do. Also, they've got 2 all-rounders in there in Mulder and Pretorius. Where are you going to play them? I don't think they can fit in there at number 6 as genuine batsmen, and you can't play them as genuine bowlers as well. So I think it's a waste having 2 all-rounders in their squad. And the other problem that they've got is the bowlers haven't done well against the likes of Australia and England, which is a huge headache. But I think they can upset a few of the teams. Now it's time to go over to the West Indies. I really like this West Indies lineup. It's a bit different balance to every other team. For me, if you're going to win this World Cup, you've got to have a quality bowling attack. But the West Indies don't have this. For me, they don't have ultimate out-and-out quicks. What they do is have a lot of all-rounders in Bravo, Pollard, Allen, as well as Andre Russell. But what that does is gives them long batting depth where they can bat down to number 9 and have Junior Walsh and McCoy as their frontline bowlers. So for me, I think their all-rounders is their strength and Lewis out the top of the order. When it comes to their weaknesses is having a genuine out-and-out opening bowler. They've got Ravi Rampal back. I don't think he's got that pace. McCoy, he's got good economy, but is he going to dominate in a T20 World Cup with that new ball? He's got the best economy in this lineup, and Junior Walsh, with his inexperience, could be a bit of an issue. But when we're talking about match winners here, Andre Russell is going to be a match winner. Lewis out the top of the order, and I love the leg spinner of Junior Walsh there. And for me, out of Group 1, who is going to get to the semi-finals from here? I think the West Indies. They're going to go against the grain with me because I think the teams that have the best bowling attack are going to get in the semis, but West Indies are going to prove me wrong. They'll get in there with England out of Group 1. So let's take a look at Group 2 now. Who's first off the rung there?
A few moments later.
It's time to go to Group 2 where we've got Afghanistan, India, New Zealand and Pakistan. Let's go to Afghanistan first. They're going to rely heavily on their opening batters of Gurbaz and Shahzad if they go with him, or they might go with Zazi up there as well. But those three particular batsmen are going to be in their top 3, and they rely heavily on their spin department in Rashid Khan as well as Mujeeb Rahman, and their all-round ability of Muhammad Nabi as well. Where their weaknesses are in their pace bowling and the middle order. Also, they don't play enough against the big nations, and that's going to have a huge effect in their tournament moving forward. Right. The match winners for them are obviously Rashid Khan and Zazi out the top of the order. Okay, let's move on to India. Well, their strengths are obviously the top 4 in Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Virat Kohli, and Pant's going to bat out number 4. Pant is a big one. Yes, he's a destructive player against opposition teams, but also in the IPL, he's shown that he can play a little conservatively when the team's on the back foot and get the momentum back in their favour. Jadeja, their all-rounder, best all-rounder in the world. He's a huge strength, and Boomerang with his pace bowling both in the death overs as well as in those middle overs is going to be crucial. Shami with his pace as well, so they've got a lot of strengths. Where their weaknesses are, Ashwin in there as well with his experienced off-spin. Let's not forget about him. Let's go into the weaknesses. I'm a little bit worried about Bhuvi coming into this particular tournament with the amount of cricket he's played, and if it's not swinging, how's he going to counteract that? Because I don't think he's got enough match practice behind him, but I think he's experienced enough to get over that, and the way that he will bowl in the death overs, I'm a little bit concerned at this present moment. Chahar, the leg spinner, the way he reacted when Livingston went after him the other day is a little bit of a worry. And the final concern for me is Hardik Pandya coming in out number 6 if he can't bowl. If he can't bowl, I don't think they should play, and they should have Jadeja out 6 and Thakur coming in out number 7. So there's a couple of weaknesses for them, but I wouldn't worry too much about it because the top order will do most of the work and the bowlers will keep the opposition team down. So the match winners for me, Jadeja, Boomerang as well as Pant. Okay, let's move on to New Zealand. Now, New Zealand have got a very dominant top order in Guptill, Seifert, Williamson to control the momentum of the innings, and Conway, who's really come on the scene of late. Very special batsman, so they're very strong in that top 4. Their bowlers, they've got a lot of experience in there in Southey, Bolt, very good with the new ball, and then they've got Ferguson with the extra pace who can be utilised any period throughout the T20 innings, and complemented by Santner and Sodhi, good quality spinners. Probably then you've got a good all-rounder in Nishan coming in at number 6 who can hit the boundaries but also bowl some medium pace as well. So they've got very good balance, which is a huge strength. Where their weaknesses are is probably in the death overs. Southey and Bolt not quite doing the job that we know they can of late, and that's probably one area where oppositions can really target. And who's going to bat out number 5 and Neesham at number 6, there's just a little bit bit of a hole in the middle order there. But other than that, I think New Zealand could do a very good job in this T20 World Cup. Then we go over to Pakistan. Now, Pakistan, I really like them, and looking at their list right now, I think they're genuinely up there in the top 2 of favourites for this tournament. Their strengths are the opening batters in Rizwan and Babar Azam, and then their middle order where they'll have Hafiz and Malik coming in out 5 and 6. Their bowlers are very strong, probably one of the best balanced bowling lineups going into the tournament. They've got Shaheen Afridi, Hassan Ali, as well as Ralph. Now, Ralph is just going to bowl with extra pace and very good in the death with reverse swing. So they've got good balance in the pace department. And in the spinners, they've got Shadab Khan and Wazim, who both can handle the bat as well, but genuine wicket takers and very economical. And if things aren't going right, they've got the balance of Hafiz and Malik to come in and bowl some economical off-spin as well. So they've got a lot of variety there. Where their holes are is number 3 and 4. Can Fakhar Zaman stand up out number 3 and deliver? That will be a big question mark there, and I'd play Hatta Harley at number 4. Let him go out there as a youngster, play aggressively, play with freedom. If things don't come off, at least you've got the experience to fix things up in Malik and Hafiz after him. Also, their fixturing. They've got the hardest fixtures going in here. What are the ICC doing? They play India. 2 days later, they travel from Dubai to Sharjah to play New Zealand. And then they've got 2-day turnaround or 3-day turnaround to play the next game against Afghanistan. And they've got to go back to Dubai as well. That will be a big problem. And the emotions of playing India, where we know the political front there. Afghanistan, there's a few issues there as well. And New Zealand pulling out as well. So there'll be a huge emotion there of Pakistan wanting to dominate these teams. Can they control the emotion will be the big one. Now, for me, India and Pakistan will go through to the next phase, but if India beat Pakistan in the first game with that short turnaround to go and play New Zealand, I don't think Pakistan will be able to recover quickly there, and I think New Zealand will go through. So if Pakistan win the first game, they'll go through with India to the next phase. If they don't, it will be India and New Zealand. So the finalists for me from now, Pakistan, India, West Indies and England. Hey, get your thoughts downstairs. I want to see what you've got to say and interact with you too, okay? So I'll get on tomorrow and just reply to all your comments. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe. Let's enjoy the T20 World Cup.